finally jumping into the video games and entertainment side of what we're going to cover on DAR Sports Media, because we've got a huge drop. 11 years in the making. EA college football, not NCAA. EA CFB 24, 25. There's some guys on here. A lot of us are in the same age group. A lot of us had this be a backbone of our younger years. This is such a fucking huge deal for all of us. So we're going to do a little review, a little talk out, some stuff about the game in and of itself. We got guests tonight. We got Rao from Black Guy Wrestling Podcast jumping out there on his own, providing us with the insight to the game. We're super happy he's here. And we got Chris Allini from Seaplane Entertainment blessing us with the knowledge like he always fucking does. He provided some of the verbiage that I was using to combat some very, very dense, very it's like talking to like an abuse victim, some of these people that I was talking to today, because that's how toxic relationships work. They'll take something away from you and then give it back, but less, and then you're not allowed to complain about it. That's the way these people were acting today. So that's where I have to start. And I promise right now, there's going to be a ton of positive and a ton of celebration on this pod where we talk about EA CFB 25. But I have to start off with the primary complaint I think that I have, and that most people have, and that you are allowed to fucking have, because a standard feature of sports video games of the last 30 years is not available in this game. And I'm going to start off by saying, I know it's a valid complaint, because EA clearly knows it's a valid complaint. You know how I know they know? Because they were extremely vague about answering this fucking question during the entire fucking release ramp up. Every content creator they let access the game early wouldn't answer questions about it. Pretended they didn't know. I fucking know that you knew. There's no fucking way, with the amount of people that were asking this question and all the access that you guys got, that nobody ever checked. Like, I know you fucking knew. And nobody would answer the question. EA was very, very opaque about the answer about it. And then all of us together as a family on Monday found out why. You cannot edit the ratings of not even the AI generated players. I think it's ridiculous that you can't just edit whatever the fuck you want. You know why? Because every pro sports game of the last 30 fucking years has had that. People, NIL. What? Okay. They have paid players in Madden. They have paid players in 2K. They have paid players in FIFA. How can they all get it figured out, but we can't get this figured out? Furthermore, these kids got paid for them to be in the game. And they are, and they're being paid for it. What the fuck does that got to do with me being able to edit whatever I want on my own personal offline, only on my Xbox, not online, offline Dynasty? What are those two things? Because some people say, people who might want to opt in later or said not, okay, but Charles Barkley has opted out of being in any of the basketball video games for years. They didn't take away the creation suite because of that. Bill Belichick has opted out of Madden for many years. They didn't take the creation suite away because of that. So what the fuck are you talking about? They're getting paid for their likeness. Their likeness is in the game. That's the end of the transaction. I got people telling me today, you can't even complain, bro. You can't even complain. This is what we needed to get the game back. How do you fucking know that? That's part of the problem, is EA was not transparent about this. Just like they weren't transparent about Team Builder and when it was coming out. Motherfucker, like you didn't know ahead of time that the release date of Team Builder was July 19th. Why did we all find out the day the game went into early access? They were purposely not forward about that information because they know people were going to be fucking pissed, rightfully. So people say, well, you can't even complain. I can complain about whatever I want. I paid my money. Fuck you. How about that? First off. Second, people are like, oh, you just want to make all 99s. You just want to make all 99. number one, the fun that someone else has in their game and how they have that fun is none of your fucking concern. So go fuck yourself. Number two, you can force win games in Dynasty anyways. You can go all through the way. I don't know if you guys have figured that out yet. You can go through your Dynasty schedule and you can click on it and say force win. You can go undefeated every year if you want without even playing the games. So at least the people who are making all 99s were playing the fucking games. Third, there's 1,000 different fucking things, different roster builds, especially in college football. 1,000 different ways you might want to edit a roster or make things the way you want to make them for different particular teams, different particular builds of rosters, different styles of offense. There's 1,000 different things that you can do with customizable players that people love to do. There's a reason thousands of people are fucking pissed about this. And I need you to get up off your knees and use your head instead of your mouth. Stop being a fucking meat goblin and bouncing on it for fucking EA Sports of all fucking companies, and acknowledge that this is a major feature of sports games that's missing, and there's no fucking excuse for it. How do these other games get it figured out? But they couldn't. The people got paid to be in the game. They are in the game. What the fuck does that got to do with me editing fucking players that aren't even real players? What? Anyways. Hopefully, they said they'd like to add it. And that's another thing. That's another reason why you know that they know that this ain't the way it should be, because even EA has said they hope to be able to add this later. Whatever the fuck that means. That's another thing that's fucking irritating. All these people are talking like, oh, well, we couldn't have had it without this. It's because of this. It's because of that. You don't fucking know what it's because of, because EA hasn't communicated that. And that's part of the issue. It's a valid thing. It's been a part of sports games for 30 fucking years. Get it figured out. People who paid their money can complain about a fucking thing that's a standard goddamn part of a game. Fuck off.
Tell them why you mad, son. Tell them why you mad, son.
All right. So, outside of that, how are we feeling here, Nolo? I know you said you were really, really happy with it. Tell me your thoughts so far.
Okay, so to be completely honest with you, I've only done Road to Glory. It is what I've been wanting to do. Dynasty is my favorite mode, but I wanted to get Road to Glory out the way. So I wanted to enjoy it because I saw ODU up there.
What position are you doing?
Oh, I definitely did quarterback.
Isn't it? So I'm doing a quarterback Road to Glory right now. Isn't that camera wild? Like my vision is not that great. I cannot see a goddamn thing.
Yo, that's the other thing I was going to complain about. Like,
yeah,
you can't see the outside receivers. So like you
gotta R trigger and do the right stick, and you swing your head to look.
You can't see the outside receivers.
Pre-snap. You're talking about pre-snap?
Yeah.
Yeah, pre-snap. Yes. Hold on. Yeah, pre-snap. R trigger and then do the right stick, and you'll swing your head to look.
Okay. I've been confused.
But still, it's hard to see downfield. It's hard to see everything you need to see past 10 yards, which people will say. I do like, though, that, I go into these games against these higher ranked teams. It's kind of like, I can only do my thing, and fucking if we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. It's wild, man. You enjoying it?
Oh, I had a great time. My first game was ODU versus going into South Carolina, and when I tell you that post was killing my dude, I ain't stand a chance, man. I put it on Heisman, thinking I could be able to keep. I'd be like, I used to play on Heisman when I was a kid. I could do this. Nah, Heisman different, dog. That's like.
Oh, you said corner like CB?
No, the quarterback.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, nah, they just with the stadium post when they best. Because you ain't got
nothing. The pulse. You said pulse. Okay, I thought you said post. Yeah. I'm like, you're routed up on post. Right? Yeah, the stadium pulse. I'm still, so my Road to Glory guy's senior, and I'm still trying to get the fucking, get it so my fucking routes aren't all fucked up and I can audible properly. Like, yeah, man, it's crazy.
Nah, I still can't audible yet. I can do hot routes. That's the only thing.
Even those go wrong.
Yeah, they don't listen. They don't look at you. You can like look at the whoever you try to get to do the hot route, and they don't look at you, and they be like, "Oh, well, they ain't hear me." So I guess we just gonna rock with whatever the coach got going on.
It's funny too because I feel the frustration. I'm like, the coach is calling these plays. I'm like, man, you're calling these fucking bum ass plays. That's why we're not gonna win.
And then when you get to be like, yeah, here are 2 other plays you could pick from, and they both suck still. And you're just like, what am I supposed to do with this? You just don't want to win, do you? You just want to just give up on this drive. All right.
So the camera is on a lot of people's wish list, right? I just posted one over there on X, Twitter. Wish list, like, okay, what do you want patched in the first patch? Like, let us fucking unlock player editing after year 6 of the dynasty, because all the NIL guys will be gone. Year 6 of dynasty, unlock customization, road to glory camera, because standard offense is hard enough, but I've heard it's a fucking nightmare if you try to run like a wing T or an option offense. Here it's fucking ridiculous. I haven't even tried yet. And then offensive line AI. Like, I don't know about you, but in my dynasty, I pride myself on always have a great offensive line. And so I had 90s across the board, at least. Everybody was a 90 on my offensive line. And they're still just Swiss cheesing it, like just letting people through untouched on a lot of passing plays. And I'm like, God damn. So that too. What else are you liking or disliking about the gameplay?
One thing, I don't know if it's just that I'm just not used to it. Like when you was talking about like throwing downfield and not being able to like see, like I've thrown it up to, I think your receiver is clearly open and you throw it. And then all of a sudden the quarter just be like, I get super speed and just goes and just knocks it down. And you be like, how is this possible? It is like your number 1 receiver against a bum receiver too. That'd be like the most wild thing.
Well, maybe because you're up on Heisman. What I've noticed with it is the way I've been playing that is, I'll get a 1-on-1 with a single high safety and I'll snap it. And if that's my rule, if he's even, he's leaving. If my receiver gets even with the corner, I just fucking chuck it as far as I can. I can't even see the end result unless it comes up at the bottom of the screen, touchdown. I'm like, all right, it worked out.
He down there somewhere. I feel it.
Yeah. So overall, but overall, these little things we've brought up, you're loving the game.
Oh yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm in my sophomore season. I took ODU to the national championship against Oregon, and they rightfully beat my ass. And then I left immediately and said, I need to go to a school that's worth a damn. So let me go to Auburn.
Oh, you hit the transfer portal. Oh my!
I hit the transfer portal. I thought it was gonna be like a little more to it, but you literally it's kind of just like when you pick your school in the beginning, like it just has like your fit and what schools are the best fit for you and where you could be a starter at.
Yeah.
Pick whichever one.
So one thing I do want to bring up, you've been deep in the game, and I'll swing over to Tay after this. You're a Madden guy as well, I'm guessing? Well,
I do.
That's going to be me. Formerly, I was a Madden guy. No longer. Yeah. Never again.
No, I don't have to go back. What do I need to go back for?
Yeah. So you've been dealing with this Frostbite game engine for this 5-6 years. What they have done with the Frostbite engine in this fucking game, I didn't even imagine could be possible. Like, it plays like a real football game, finally. Like, after all these years. I cannot stress it enough. Anybody out there listening to it, if you didn't get the early access, you haven't bought it yet, if you're waiting for the overall for the 19th, what they have done with this Frostbite engine, you cannot fucking imagine it. Because of the bullshit we've dealt with Madden for so long. It's like good to go. There's still some little weirdnesses here and there, but for the most part, it feels like the Maddens of the early 20 teens, of the 12s, the 13s, the 14s. It's fucking incredible what they've done with the engine to make it feel looser, like real organic football. I'm fucking in love with it. I'm in love. See, right, and started off with this rant, but it was mostly against people being dipshits online and saying you can't even criticize the game. Fuck you. The gameplay is fucking fantastic in this game. Like when you switch over and you're not doing Road to Glory and you're not dealing with the camera anymore and you're not, just wait, man, till you're in the Dynasty and you're playing games. Mm-hmm. The gameplay is fucking phenomenal. Like if they fix this player editing shit and the customization suite shit, this is going to be the ultimate fucking game. The gameplay is fucking fantastic. I cannot speak about it enough. Tay, you're a Madden guy, right?
Yeah, I play Madden.
Yeah, you're like a primary game. So do you see what I'm talking about with how much better and how much different this fucking version of the Frostbite engine feels versus what it's like in Madden?
Yeah, it definitely feels a lot better. It feels more arcadey. And I guess that's what everybody wants. I like it too. Like players move and feel a lot faster.
Yes.
Yeah, it's more arcadey. That's what college is. I mean, teams score 45 every Saturday anyway. So, it just makes sense. I think Madden's gonna look like college football though. Like I saw
that's kind of the way it always used to go.
They're very similar.
That's the way it always used to go. Is you would get like the early version of what Madden was kind of be with what was a little bit tighter when it got to Madden. And the speed differences was a little bit different. But so I wouldn't be surprised if Madden's. So the thing is though, is this time around, this is two completely different development teams, and they were just handed the assets over on NCAA, and they built it from the ground up. So I have no idea how that'll work. Will Madden just want to keep it the way they already have it coded, or will they borrow what these guys were able to do with that game engine from the ground up and integrate? That's still a question to me. How else do you feel? Tay, have you done any Dynasty yet, or are you still just rocking Road to Glory as well?
Road to Glory. Yeah.
See, that's funny, right? Right? Like all these people that I know that are gamers, that are content makers, all this stuff, right? I'm on there talking shit about creation suite and creation options and customization options, and then everybody I talk to is doing fucking Road to Glory, where you fucking create your own player, right? So obviously it's something that people fucking thirst for, like, enjoy. So what position are you doing, Tay?
I did a quarterback as well.
You did quarterback as well. Yeah.
I wanted to be the most important player on the field.
Depending on what team you go to, you're not. I feel like my fucking coach calls so many damn runs. I'm getting irritated.
Yeah, that's how it was for me. Like, I actually redshirted too.
You gotta hit the transfer portal, bro.
Yeah, I redshirted. I did. Oh, I'm transferring every year. I'm never gonna stay. I'm not every single year. I'm gonna win or whatever happens, and I'm gonna just go to another team. But so one thing I did notice that happened to me today. I'm glad it did happen, but at the same time, I'm not. So there's this thing called coach trust. Like it's
I feel like I can't make it happen. I don't get it.
Yeah,
the player's really good, puts up really good numbers, and it's just still got nothing.
Yeah, and it's like it carries over year by year. That's like, so when you transfer to a team, like, okay, for example, I went to Kennesaw State, okay, and then I wanted to go to Minnesota. I wanted to play in the snow. I was like, let me go to Minnesota. So I transferred to Minnesota. So my issue with that is when you transfer, it said I was gonna be the third string. I already knew, but my coach trust is higher than the QB1 and the QB2. Like I'm further along than them, but I have to wait till week 1 to do a QB battle with the backup. Then week 2.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird too that coach trust would transfer because it's like two different coaches.
It transfers.
That's so strange. Yeah,
it's good and bad. If they're gonna have it transfer, it should make sense. Like, I'm ahead. Any team I go to, I'm probably gonna be ahead of that quarterback. Like I think I'm maxed out or something like that. Like I think I'm maxed out in coach trust. So any team I go to, I'm gonna be the highest, the highest quarterback when it comes, not overall, when it comes to coach trust. So I don't like that because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And then I did complete the QB battle, right? I beat out the QB2. Then I beat out the QB1. Then the offensive coordinator texted me and he said the starting quarterback is out for a month. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I won the job anyways. Yeah. So I played 4 games, won 4 in a row. I was feeling it. Then I go into another game and it's Simmons. It's the third quarter. I'm like, why am I not playing? Oh, then I quit, closed that. I don't want that. I closed that went back in there, looked at the depth chart. I was back to QB3. Like it kind of didn't register because the starter got hurt. It messed up all the. I had to redo the battles, so I missed like 4 or 5 weeks, like the beginning. Then I missed 2 in the beginning, 2 in the middle. Then I got my spot back. I don't know. It's some issues with that. That's something I did notice.
If this is going to be a major mode, man, you got to have the details down like that. Like that shouldn't happen.
I did not like that. Like the whole transfer portal thing. I like the transfer. Obviously, you know, you can go anywhere, anytime, at the end of each season, obviously. But I did not like that I had to fight for my spot. But I'm further along than them, and then it didn't save due to injury. I didn't like that. That's the one thing I noticed. Like it wasn't that big of a deal, but that's definitely something I could see happening again. You know, I did not like that. But outside of that, I mean, I've been having fun. I like the player customization. You know, like I said, I like the transfer portal a lot. Different playbooks I've been experimenting. Like my coach, he keeps calling halfback dive. I don't want to keep doing that. I found some other playbooks that work, you know, that give me what I want. Read option. If we're gonna run the ball, I want to be able put me in that too. Don't just, it's my career, it's not his. I don't care about my running back. So yeah, I found some offenses where it's more catered to me, my play style. And it kind of seems like it starts to notice. Like at first I would get one read option, then now it happens more and more.
Hey, I will say I noticed that too. Like when I was a true freshman, I was just run. Now my guys at the back tail of the junior year, and we're fucking chucking it all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
Dots. We're fucking throwing it like every other play.
Like, you know, it's, I guess you could say that's realistic. Like, you know, you come in as a true freshman, they don't trust you.
That's what I earned that it was. Yeah,
and that's solid, but definitely changed my playbook. And I found playbooks that cater to me. Like, I like motions and read options, stuff like that. So yeah, but I get a game of 10. Like, even though there is issues, I can overlook that and just be like, you know, it's day 2. I can overlook that and just, you know, yeah, I'm very excited. They didn't let me down at all. Like, you know, a lot of people were like, oh, it's EA. Oh, you know, don't get your hopes up. I got my hopes up, and it was worth it. So yeah, I'm happy.
I did espouse about the creation suite stuff, and that is a big deal to me and a lot of people. But otherwise, like, no, I'm with you. And it's, you know, we're nitpicking nits. We're talking about funny stuff, but like the atmosphere, the detail, the gameplay is fucking phenomenal. Like, definitely worth the wait. They did an excellent fucking job. Fuck yes. What you were saying.
How do y'all like? I gotta ask y'all something. I'm in the middle. How do y'all like wear and tear?
I turn it off. I'm not fucking with that.
Oh, really?
No, I didn't even give it a chance. No, I read about that and I was like, no, thank you.
Okay.
I was so fucking happy
like
that
you like it.
I like it. It's like it just adds something to it. Like if you, I don't mind like a little make it a little tougher for me. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like
I
gotta
like diversity. Oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind like the wear and tear. I can definitely see where it can be annoying as hell sometimes.
If you pick a running back, I'm probably gonna turn. If I make a running back, I'm gonna turn that off.
Dog, my running back, my freshman year would get hurt at least 3 times a game.
Oh yeah. Oh my
yeah. Oh, that's okay. Though. So I was seeing people complaining online on X on Twitter about you know, they got to fix the injuries. They got to fix their injuries. And I'm like, I haven't hardly seen any injuries in the game. What you talking about? That's why, I guess, because I turned off wear and tear. There you go.
Yeah, that's why. I get injuries when I in my road to glory. It's like every play, someone on the other team. It's like the same 2 names get hurt over and over, and that's something I don't care. It's not my team. I mean, but that's something else I noticed too. Like the other team gets hurt. Like
some people are injury prone, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
So Nolo, are you you're like a long time player, right? Like like back in the day, the NCAA games. Okay, yes. So I'm gonna imagine you're in the same boat as me and 1,000 other people who responded to my tweet today. The flipping around of the read option controls is fucking destroying my life.
Yo, I'm sitting here. And you know how long it took me to like get used to it? Because
you know how long
like,
it took me? Cool. Infinity, because I'm fucking still fucking it up.
I was like, cool. All I gotta do is hold X. It's gonna go to the running back.
It don't make any sense. Like, why would you need to hold it for the quarterback to keep it? He starts off with the ball. What?
It's because they revamped the RPOs
Giving it is a thing that you would command a player to do, not keep it. What the fuck is that?
I kept getting murdered. Murdered.
Fucking it up. Man.
And it'd be at like the worst time because I'll forget in the fourth quarter and I'll go back to the old way and I'm like, damn it.
I will say though that they really improved RPOs. This is the most effective RPOs I've ever used in a game ever.
Oh, yeah.
Like they've had them in Madden for a few years, but these RPOs, I'm fucking slanging. That's what was the big joke coming in. Like, oh, I'm gonna get on here and whoop these Zoomers, whoop these younger guys, and you're like, got 3 letters for you, RPO. They're gonna be fucking you up on those RPOs, and they probably are because they're very, very effective. Best RPO game that I've played. Tay, do you agree? Are you using a lot of RPO?
Oh yeah, some of them suck. There's some plays like stick. I don't really like that. I hate curl routes. Like maybe that's just me. I hate those 2-yard curl routes. I'm not throwing that. I could run. I could do that, but. Some of the RPOs are nice. Like if I do need like a tight end, they'll have like a flat or something like that. Yeah, some of the RPOs are nice.
Speaking of, what's funny is, and since you guys have only played Road to Glory, you haven't really seen this yet. It feels like the computer like just knows how to run them better because I'm seeing people do things. I'm like, that would never fucking work if I tried it with me controlling everybody. But they're like getting yards in Road to Glory. It's kind of fun. Speaking of curl routes, Nolo, both you and Tawan, are you guys? I am on fucking demon time with these fucking customizable stems. I am fucking up the computer with being able to, whenever they play off coverage, I'll do the customizable stem and make it like a 5-yard hitch instead of a deep one, destroying their fucking lives. Have you guys been messing with that at all?
When I can. My team can't hear it half the time, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, true that.
But when I can, it is nice.
Yeah. What about you, Noah?
I was about to say, man, I'll be in like some harsh environments, so I can't really do too much. I just got to rock with what they got.
Damn, I'm gonna have to do a solo Dynasty review here at the end because, all right, so we're almost at 30 minutes. We got the Duke of South Florida. We got the Jarl of Orlando fucking with us. Chris, you got what's the thoughts on the game, man? The new game, and all the stuff that we've been talking about.
Listen, man, I've been watching a lot of videos. I don't have it yet. I'm not going front and say I have it. I'm going to get it on Xbox. I'm an Xbox guy.
He's a busy man.
I am a busy man, but
right.
I'm watching the gameplay videos on it, and that thing is nice. Yeah, a lot of the features like the stadium pulse thing is crazy. Because you're going into hostile environments. You're going into Beaver Stadium at Penn State, going into Doak Campbell, especially as a UM guy. I'm a UM fan, so like going into Doak, going into the Swamp. You're going into a lot of these different stadiums, and those rivalry games are just making it crazy.
Has a big effect too. Big effect.
Big effect on you trying to like make a play.
Yes.
Not start to
yes.
The wiggle of the screen and your controller's going crazy and just like
and you're trying to audible, you're trying to fucking change your routes and your guys can hear you and then you just get like fuck it and you hit the snap. That's what's happened to me a bunch of times.
I mean that 40-second clock, it kind of fails you a little bit, but you gotta still power through all that shit, and it's just like
it's not even so much the clock. You're just stuck in a shitty play and a shitty look, and you can't do nothing about it. So you got to just make chicken salad.
Yeah, bro, and but just the look of it is just amazing. A lot of the defensive AI I'm looking at, I'm like, I can't wait till I get to play this. I mean, the offense is the offense. That's what you're there for. But like a lot of that defensive AI and a lot of the plays and things like that, I'm looking forward to it. like I'm old school. I'm old school. I go back to like Bill Walsh college football, Sega Genesis, and from
Hell yeah.
then to your college football USA's to the college NCAA college footballs on
that one with
PlayStation.
joint with Joey Harrington on the front of it.
Yeah, bro. I was playing a lot of those games, and that was like we like Madden, growing up where I'm from in Miami, but like Bill Walsh college football and college football in general on all the PlayStations, that was like it. That was it. One of my favorite ones is the one I think it's '08 is the one with which one is the one with Mark Ingram on the cover? That was like the one that I was
either 08 or 09. That was a really fucking good one too. Absolutely.
Yeah. That one got like heavy play where I'm from, and just the stuff that we were doing on that, and trying to play with like the HBCU teams and playing with like a FAU, playing with like these obscure teams and trying to make them into something. And that's what a lot of these new kids are doing with the PS5 versions and Xbox versions.
It was 12 was with Mark Ingram. I do remember that generation though, like before it. I was, because you like to get small schools and build them up, and there's schools on there I didn't even hear of. Because back in the day, all the FCS teams used to be in the game. Like the actual name wasn't just FCS directional; they used to be in the game. And so I brought up Alabama State. Did not know anything about anything, and I'm playing the game, and I create my little character, and I'm like, I'm like the only white person on this team. What's going on? And somebody told me, "Hey man, that's an HBT." I said, "No, it's fine. Let's go." Fuck.
Yeah, you got
yeah, but that was cool when those schools used to be in it. I wish they would. I'm sure that because that was the original rumor, was that the FCS schools were going to be in. We're going to be in here. So I would not be surprised if that's a future goal for following years.
I thought they were.
Yeah, I thought they were going to be. Yeah.
See FAMU or see Bethune-Cookman or see a Savannah State.
Yeah.
Some of the MEAC schools, the SWAC schools.
Yeah. Yeah.
And dang, that's crazy. But I mean, who knows? Maybe later on down the line they'll put a lot of those schools in. But I mean, just for you to just take a small school and build it up and do your dynasty stuff and do your road to glory stuff on there and just ball out with those small schools. And I see the videos, I see like the screen caps in the videos, even on Twitter. And I'm like, damn, this is dope. You could play against a big school that's like nearby and, just make big plays on them. But that's, I can't wait. I'm probably gonna get it in a few weeks because I'm not gonna get it immediately. I'm a digital guy. So I'm gonna download it and download it off the Xbox Microsoft store and get busy on that in a while.
True. You've been listening to everybody's loves, likes, and dislikes. What are your thoughts?
Well, obviously everybody knows I ain't got the game yet, but when it finally does come around, I'm curious to kind of see the gameplay, kind of like Chris said, and I know you three kind of mentioned it because you played the game. Been watching videos on the gameplay, just kind of trying to see how it looks and what I would probably like and what I'm not gonna like. You've all kind of told me a couple of things that I'm pretty sure I'm gonna run into my own issues. I'm rusty. I'm real rusty on video games. I have not been playing anything but an old beat up Nintendo Switch for last few months. So I'm just worried I'm gonna get my ass whooped my first couple games. That's pretty much all I'm worried about right now. I kind of your concerns and your rant at the beginning about creations and creating stuff like that. I don't really bother me that much since you guys are mentioning the road to glory and everything like that. But I'm mostly just excited to get in there. I want to enter that transfer portal to see what that feels like. It's been a minute, you know what I'm saying? That's really what I'm looking forward to, is really the transfer portal. But yeah, man, it's just crazy because we've come so far in gaming that this is generations have passed basically since we've had a game like this, and so we're looking at people who haven't had a chance to play college football game ever, and now they're getting a chance to really tap into it. And it sucks a little bit though, because I kind of wish that people kind of had something to compare it to. You know what I mean? Like compare those old games, because you bring up Madden a little earlier. Like Madden doesn't play the same to me as it did when I was coming up. But also I think that's a perspective thing too, right? You could be a 16, 17-year-old that's just starting out on Madden and you think it's the greatest game ever, and you could play Madden 05, Madden 06, or my favorite football game, NFL 2K5, and you don't appreciate the game for what it is because of errors and perspective. So I'm really anxious to see how everybody responds to it. I know some people haven't got it yet because they're getting it on Friday. Shout out to my brother Peagle, who said he'd be getting the game Friday. He would have probably been on here if he had got the early access. But no, I'm just anxious to do this road to glory thing, into that transfer portal, and just check out the gameplay and test myself. This is gonna be a test for me. Like I said, I have not sat and played. I think last video game I really sat down and focused on playing was like 2K. So I haven't had a chance to play a football game in like 2-3 years. So I'm really anxious to get back into gaming and getting back. This game is bringing me back. Really, this game has caught my attention. You know what I'm saying? I've been ignoring all the. Actually, I lied. I did play AEW Fight Forever video game, but that don't count because I'm on the shit. So that don't really count. But but outside of that, I haven't played many video games outside of like Mario Kart with my daughter and Legend of Zelda with her. So sports games is my first love as a kid. So I'm talking like way back in the day. Joe Montana on the NFL. NFL game covers, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just excited. I want to see, was it the with Dynasty? Want to see what the Dynasty's hitting on.
Talk about it in a second.
Team builders and all. I just all of the old kind of like the old stuff that we, you know what I'm saying, like that we used to love. I want to see if it still translates as well now. And I think college football is in an interesting place, right? I mean, really interesting place. I think popularity wise, maybe it's the highest it's been. So it's like a perfect storm for this game. For this game to come along.
That's another thing that was interesting in this game is it's the first place that everybody's going to see the 12-team playoff. And, I've played in it a couple times in the game already, and it feels doesn't feel right. It feels unnatural. I mean, I'm excited for it as a viewer because I'll take more big games with everything on the line. Like I'm excited for it, but it does feel strange in the game. I want to talk about that generational thing you brought up, Tay, because you said you hadn't really played it seriously because you were a lot younger when the last one was out. So just tell me about like the build up to this, when you heard about it, your excitement about it, like what your perspective is, because for me, I think for Nolo, for True. So for me, I was a fucking diehard, an absolute, like I didn't buy Madden for 10 years. I was a complete NCAA guy. I've probably made 300 teams on Team Builder. I was still year in and year out getting the Xbox 360 out, probably spending 100 hours per year in this game all the way up till last year. Like, so this was fucking everything to me. What was the experience like of like, oh shit, that's coming back? I remember that. Your excitement for it, Tay.
Just hearing build up, I say like 2 years ago. That's when I first started hearing them. They're just trying to bring it back. Once the NIL came about, that's when I heard noise like, okay, well maybe a game can come out now that players are getting paid. Basically what I used to do when I was younger, I was like 11. I definitely got all the college football games. Like I would play them. Who was on 14? Denard Robinson?
Yeah, Shoelace. Yep.
Yes.
Legend.
Yeah. Then he had number 98.
No,
some Michigan quarterback.
Gardner.
98.
Yeah, Gardner. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. But anyway, different person. But So what I would do back then, I would Road to Glory. I didn't do Dynasty at all. Like that was not my thing. Like it was just, it was too much. Like it was too. I was more of a like make me
in 14. It's so easy. It's so scaled down in 14.
It was. I don't know. I just didn't do it. I was more. I would just make players and I would import them to Madden. That's kind of what I would do. I'd make them play through my senior year. Then I would get on Madden, take that player, and play. You know, that's what I used to do. So Dynasty is definitely going to be new to me. I'll probably play that during the weekend. But yeah, I mean, I'm very excited. I mean, I'm a college football fan in general. Like just finally being able to use your players and stuff like that. I do remember though, back then, they were like how can I put this? Like their likenesses were in the game. They just didn't have the name on the back. Like they would still have the accessories and whatnot. But yeah, it's definitely crazy, you know, that they finally did it. You know, it finally came back and whatnot. But yeah, I was very excited. Like I could not wait. Like I was sitting in front of my Xbox at like 350. I kept trying to start the game, telling me
getting to the loading screen.
Yeah. I was honestly really excited, you know, and it's just it takes me back. I didn't play a lot because I only played one game mode, but yeah, it definitely takes me back. Yeah.
What about you, Nolo? What was the build up like for you?
So I did not know. I was not aware until I think maybe like late last year that this was coming out. So when I thought people was just like fucking with me. Like I honestly thought this was like just some internet like just some fake stuff that they was like just making it up. And I was like, man, y'all ain't about to get me all hyped for no reason. And then I saw EA post it and I was like, oh, this is actually real. Like this is actually about to happen. Like it has been, as you said, 11 years since the last one. And I remember I had the NCAA game, NCAA 14, and I sadly had had lost it or misplaced it somehow. And I was always so sad because I was like, man, I'm gonna go buy that game again. Because after like what 5 years, I was like, man, this game never coming back out. So let me go try to like find it. And I used to just
that shit was like
prices.
Yeah, $200. Yeah.
It was outrageous to go pick this game up. And I was like, you know what?
There was a feller who offered to trade me a Dreamcast with 10 games for NCAA 14.
Ooh, man. He was ready.
Yeah.
But nah, man. But nah, the build up. So to me, it really wasn't that bad of a build up for me once it actually became like conscious of it coming, and now it came on Tuesday. The only thing that might have sucked was like that 24 hours before they released the game.
So
I was at work. I was sitting here like, man, let me free.
I had there was like all these little errands. I was gonna go pick up something for a friend of mine. I was had to get my driver's license switched over from I'm from another state, but I live in this state, so I was gonna go to the DMV, get my driver's license, get my registration updated, all this shit. Like I saved everything that I had going on for Monday during the day that day. So I was just running around the whole time because I just couldn't fucking believe it. Couldn't fucking believe we were here. Speaking of Tay's weekend, it's Dynasty. I guess I should talk about it a little bit. So it sounds like I'm the only person who's done it.
You are.
Yeah. The new recruiting. I'll be interested to talk to you about it, Tay, and you know when you guys get in there. The new recruiting is fine. I guess it you know what though, it would actually be pretty decent if it was a little more intuitive. I feel like you have to tap. There's a lot of buttons. Like you have to tap a lot of fucking times to like get into the stuff you want to get into and get out of the stuff you want to get out of. And so I feel like that could be a little smoother. The amount of menus and sub menus and all these things that you got to go through to fucking to do up one player per week. You're probably talking about just put, I think I counted it up the other day because I sent it to my buddy because he was asking me about the game. I think it's like 7 button clicks per player just to like get them set up. And so that's this, there's 7 different moves from like menu into menu into menu to going back out. So I feel like that could be a little smoother, especially, the last iteration we had, NCAA 14, it was like 2 clicks. You hit recruiting, you got your list, you flick the left stick to put however many points against them that you want, and bam, you're off to the races. And then this one, you got to select a bunch of stuff and go into a bunch of different menus, and yeah. But overall, though, it's a good concept, and I like what they got going on, and I'm excited to see how they build on it. Again, like I mentioned, and this is kind of cool for me if they ever smooth out, the customization things and the team builder things. It'll be interesting to me to be able to kind of set the vibe for your season, where you can do force wins like you do in your Madden franchise or 2K, my NBA. You can select any game and force a win for either team, and just simulate it, and you'll get the numbers, but the win will go to one team or the other. Sometimes in the past, I would lose ridiculous games that ended up getting me fired, and this is going to sound crazy to people, but again, people have fun the way that they have fun. Sometimes my teams will win too many games too fast to be on the trajectory of like what I wanted them to be. So sometimes you'll be able to balance that out if you want to. I just think that's a really cool thing that they've added the force wins, force losses, to the dynasty mode. Something that is knowing at least 2 of the guys, probably Tay too. I don't know you that well, Nolo, but is fucking hilarious on this game is, do you remember in old dynasty modes, you would get to a part of the season where you would cut players, right? To get your roster down to size. Well, now, because I was going through and I had to ask on X, like, am I fucking missing this? I can't find the place where I cut people. There's a screen where it's called encourage players to transfer. And so you go in there and hold on, you need to unmute your mic, Nolo, because you're gonna fucking laugh at what I'm about to say. You go in there and instead of cut, you click the button and it says encourage. So to cut people, to get them off your roster, you encourage them. I swear to God, you go into a section that says encourage transfers, and you go and you click the button and it says encourage. And when you click encourage, they're off your roster. And that's how you cut people in this game. I could not fucking believe it.
How they take away something I used to love so much.
Oh my gosh. Well, now there's a comedy element to it too. So.
You gonna be like Deion Sanders, like when he first got to Colorado.
I guess, yeah. Like, hey, you need to get up out of here. That's crazy to me.
I brought my own.
I don't want to.
Maybe I need to get in the portal. I brought my own luggage.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's fucking nuts. Drew, how does that sound to you? When you're cutting somebody, you're firing somebody, you encourage them.
I ain't gonna lie, it sounds like some bullshit.
We're not firing you. We're just encouraging you to find employment
encouraging
elsewhere.
you to take your ass elsewhere. Yeah, I'm not. I think I would have preferred to just cut people straight up as opposed to try to be like, let's encourage you to go elsewhere. Like, your shit ain't working out here, but you know what? I believe you'll do just fine somewhere else. You're gonna be good. Like, that's that bullshit. That's that bullshit. Nah, bro.
Chris, if somebody said that to you, we're not getting rid of you. We're just encouraging you to go somewhere else.
Oh man, that might be. Listen, I don't know. A lot of guys from South Florida might tear shit up in that school and end up getting kicked out. So I mean,
well, we appreciate. Yeah, we appreciate everybody jumping in here with us. We encourage you to check out the rest of DAR Sports Media. Fucking throw us a sub. We cover the NFL, we cover the NBA, we cover the world of wrestling, and now obviously we're jumping into some video game stuff. Our man Tier Tay is a big gamer. Our guy Nolo, friend of the show, Black Guy Wrestling podcast. Please check it out. It's fantastic. He's a bit of a gamer as well. Chris, what do you got going on out there in the world of entertainment that you can plug?
Monteezy, Erica's Son 2, out now. Check it out on all streaming platforms.
Okay, that's your guy. One of your many guys. One of your stable. Hell yeah. Good. Glad we could put that out there. That's our two guests. We appreciate them so much. Always adding the perspective. Earlier on this week, DAR, we put out our NFC North or AFC North, our AFC North preview. Please check that out. That's up on the page. Week in Wrestling is looking like a good trajectory. If I'm not busy whooping more ass in Dynasty, we could get something out, me and True. And then, of course, more NFL previews. Camps are starting this week, so we are in there. We thank you for the subs. We thank you for listening. We thank our guests. Now we're in the world of video games, along with sports, along with wrestling. As you can plainly see, the world of DAR never stops.